July and August are the months that expose a badly planned garden. The spring bloomers are long finished, the early summer perennials are fading. The border starts to look thin, tired, and like it peaked 6 weeks ago. The solution isn't more plants, it's the right plants. There's a specific group of perennials that are built for the heat of late summer, that peak precisely when everything else is winding down, and that deliver the boldest, richest color of the whole season in July and August. In this video, we're covering 7 of them. Plant these, and by August, you'll understand why they belong in every garden.
Hey guys, quick heads up. If you see any plants or tools you like in this video, I've linked all my favorites on the screen and down below. Super easy to check out. All right, let's get into it.
Number 1. Helenium Mardi Gras. Most perennials have already peaked by the time August arrives. Helenium is just getting started. Mardi Gras produces rich, daisy-like flowers in a mix of deep red, warm orange, and gold. The full color palette of late summer distilled into a single plant. The blooms appear from late July through September, right when the garden most needs something bold and the standard summer perennials are winding down. The flowers have a slightly swept-back quality to the petals that gives them an animated, almost windswept look. In a front border, a well-established clump in full August bloom is one of the warmest, richest color combinations available at that time of year. It needs full sun and consistent moisture. Cut it back by a third in early summer, and it produces a more compact, floriferous plant. Beyond that, it asks for very little and delivers a lot, exactly when everything else has stopped delivering. Number 2. Liatris Kobold. Liatris is the only commonly grown perennial that blooms from the top of its spike down rather than from the bottom up. That alone makes it worth watching. But what makes it worth growing is the vivid purple and the midsummer timing. Kobold is a compact selection at around 18 inches, producing dense spikes of fluffy, bright purple from July through August, with an almost exclamation point quality that makes them visible from across the yard. Monarchs and swallowtails find the spikes irresistible, which means the plant brings movement and life to the garden, precisely when both are needed most. It's native, drought-tolerant once established, and comes back reliably every spring. The goldfinches that visit the seed heads through fall extend its ecological value well beyond the bloom season. Plant it now in full sun with good drainage. By August, it will be one of the most active spots in the garden. Number 3. Crocosmia Lucifer. Lucifer Crocosmia is the most dramatic thing you can put in a summer border. Arching sprays of vivid scarlet red flowers on tall, sword-leafed stems that peak in July and create a tropical, almost explosive energy in the garden. The color is a true, saturated scarlet. Not coral, not orange-red, but the kind of vivid red that advances visually and stops people mid-stride. Hummingbirds find it with the same instinctive directness they bring to cardinal flowers. The arching stems add a kinetic quality. The flowers move in a breeze in a way that most midsummer plants simply don't. It spreads by corms underground and expands its coverage year over year, which means the July impact increases each season rather than staying static. By the 3rd year, a well-established Lucifer colony is genuinely spectacular. Hardy to zone 5, full sun, average soil. One of the boldest July performers available. Number 4. Phlox David. Garden phlox has been a staple of American summer gardens for generations, but it has a reputation problem. Most phlox varieties develop powdery mildew by August, turning the foliage white and diminishing the display exactly when it should be at its peak. David was selected specifically for mildew resistance, and it delivers on that promise reliably. The flowers are pure white, produced in large, fragrant domes from July through August, above foliage that stays clean and healthy through the whole season. The fragrance is exceptional, one of the most powerfully scented perennials available, and draws both gardeners and pollinators in equal measure. It grows 3 to 4 feet tall, which gives it presence in the mid to back border, and the pure white of the blooms makes it one of the most versatile color elements in a July-August planting. It works beside almost anything. Full sun to light shade, consistent moisture, and the mildew resistance to actually look good in August. David earned its Perennial Plant of the Year award. Number 5. Monarda Raspberry Wine. Bee balm is native throughout much of the eastern United States, which means that when it blooms in your garden in midsummer, the hummingbirds and native bees respond with an instinctive recognition that no exotic plant can replicate. Raspberry wine produces shaggy, vivid raspberry red flower heads from July through August, with the loose, ragged form that makes bee balm look like it belongs in a meadow, even when it's growing in a suburban border. The color is deep and saturated enough to be visible from across the yard. On a warm midsummer morning, a mature colony can have multiple hummingbirds rotating through it simultaneously. It's a mildew-resistant selection, solving the biggest problem that has historically plagued bee balm in gardens. It spreads by rhizome at a manageable pace, which means the colony grows over years into something larger and more impressive without becoming uncontrollable. Full sun to part shade, consistent moisture. By the second season, it's hitting its stride. Number 6. Echinacea Magnus. Magnus coneflower is already one of the most reliable midsummer perennials available, and the flat-petaled form that makes it exceptional for curb appeal also makes it exceptional for peak late summer performance. While most coneflower varieties begin to look tired as summer progresses, petals drooping, color fading, Magnus holds its flat, open form and its rosy purple color through July and August with a consistency that most perennials can't match in that heat. The copper-orange cone at the center provides warm contrast against the cooler petals, and the plant continues producing new blooms to replace spent ones throughout the season. Butterflies and bees are active on it continuously through the bloom period. Goldfinches work the seed heads through fall and winter. The plant naturalizes gently over time, expanding the late summer color mass each season. Full sun, average soil, essentially no maintenance. One of the most reliable plants on this list. Number 7. Persicaria Firetail. We're closing with the late summer plant that delivers something almost nothing else on this list can. Vivid, saturated crimson red in a bold poker spike form that runs from July through October. Firetail produces long, slightly arching spikes of deep crimson red that appear in July and continue without stopping through fall. The color is intense and reads from a significant distance. Red is the color the human eye is most sensitive to in a natural setting, and Firetail in full late summer bloom is impossible to miss from across the yard or from the street. The slightly pendulous arching quality of the spikes adds a graceful movement dimension. They sway gently in a breeze, which creates animation in a late summer border that would otherwise be static. The plant spreads into larger clumps over time, which means the impact grows each season. Full sun to part shade, average soil. For a late summer border that needs a hot color anchor from July through frost, Firetail is the most reliable option available. Those are 7 perennials that peak in July and August. the plants that make a garden look its best precisely when most gardens look their worst. Subscribe. New plant content every week. We'll see you in the next one.